Something very interesting is happening on the No-Hack Anarchy server Purity Vanilla. The entirety of the end spawn has been submerged underwater. A roughly 2000 by 2000 block wide ocean has replaced the end island and all of the surrounding void. So the question is, why is this happening? How did they manage such a feat? And who is responsible for this? All of these questions will be answered in this video. Meanwhile, I'm currently making my way over to an exclusive community event, but more on that later. I'm keeping this one short and sweet, so grab a drink and enjoy. What you are looking at is a project named Endlantis. It is a giant water cube the size of 1817 by 1721 blocks, from build limit all the way down to the void. It spans the entire length of the end island and more, going from roughly -1k to +1k in any direction you decide to swim from spawn. The end didn't always look like this, however. When there are no rules, you can only imagine what kind of destruction can occur, and the main end island was no exception to this. What you are seeing now is 5 years worth of players interacting with Purity Vanilla's end dimension prior to the flooding. To think they had to reverse this much history is insane. What was previously scattered lava casts and countless random bridges of blocks have all been removed to truly submerge almost all of spawn underwater. But to truly understand the real beauty of Endlantis, we need to start from the very beginning. Operation Flood the End is a project that was first thought up by a player named Wedgo, who sometime in mid-2023 thought of a fun and creative way of making his mark on the server. This could not be done alone, however. He first spoke to his friend Multi, a moderator on Purity Vanilla, and a redstone expert, and after some trial and error, they formed a plan. Now all he needed was help executing his vision. Wedgo presented the idea to another player he knew named Tree, asking for his help in this endeavour. And after an in-depth explanation of water mechanics, Tree agreed to be his right-hand man. After this, they recruited various players from the factions Vanguard and EOS to help with the clearing of the spawn. A Discord was created, and it was finally time to make their vision a reality. So this is probably the right time to explain how water works in Minecraft and the mechanics of how the ocean was made. According to the Minecraft wiki, a water source block is created from a flowing block that is horizontally adjacent to 2 or more other source blocks and sitting on top of a solid block or another water source block. Since the void does not consist of solid blocks, that is where the end flooder machine comes into play. It shuffles across the void, creating a temporary layer of solid blocks for the water to spread. So basically, with the help of these machines, all they have to do is create an outline using Multi's kelp grower to shuffle along and spam kelp to create source blocks at build limit. Then build Tree's end flooder to fill out the inside and let an auto clicker do the rest, thus making the flooding process 10 times easier than having to manually build an entire platform up at build limit, then placing water source blocks all over it with a bucket. Their initial idea was to build a 130 by 130 block water cube right on top of the spawn portal. This would end up preserving a giant obsidian monument to be built inside of it. But as you can see from the size of the current water cube, a mere 130 by 130 cube was not enough for them. The plan quickly morphed and became infinitely larger. They wished to expand the water cube to a size of 2000 by 2000 blocks, an effort paving the way to one final objective: to make the largest map art on Purity Vanilla, which is actually the event I'll be attending later on. But while I'm still on the Nether Highway, let's continue with the story. The first water cube event began on the 25th of February 2024. Due to the amount of people from different factions involved in the project, the end hype quickly rose to an all-time high, which unfortunately led to it being visited by some unwanted guests. Some upcoming and well-known PvPers named 159, Bruno Vera, Jake, and Gelato caught wind of what was going on. They created a group named the End Fuckass Club and decided to make it their mission to disrupt the project as much as they could because of a dispute that had happened in its early stages. What followed was some intense camping of the End spawn and the killing of many players that showed up to help in the project. They also began re-griefing the now empty area by creating new lava casts, which was a huge setback for the community. Dicker, a well-known player on Purity and one of the leaders of the SIP faction, also got word of the ocean from some of his members. Together they had concluded this was a danger to new players and promptly removed the water cube, another huge setback. In retaliation, the community pulled together to counter the griefers. The players Timbercoy, 80, Chaff, Shrimpin' Pimpin, and Marmot Money all helped by working around the clock blowing up the lava casts made by 159 and his friends. After a while, the griefing simmered down, and the project quietly kept going. The Kraken, which was initially designed by Bellaterra, was built during this period. The project now consisted of members from EOS, Vanguard, and Eden factions, which is a large collaboration effort that is often rare in the Anarchy environment. Also during this time, Wedgo convinced the SIP faction I mentioned earlier to side with him and the Endlantis project, convincing them that it did not harm new players entering the End. This combined with the completion of the Kraken discouraged many other potential griefers from messing with the End spawn for a while. As attacks from 159 and his team dwindled, general interest in the project did with it. Wedgo would use this newfound peace to the fullest. With only Tree and a few others by his side, they began removing more of the spawn islands in order to complete their goal of expanding the water cube into an ocean. With an 1817 by 1721 area now completely cleared of blocks, they created an outline using Maltese kelp growing machine. Many right clicks later, the outline was complete. And finally, using Tree's End Flooder machine, it was now time for the long-awaited floodening. The full ocean was completed on the 24th of March 2024, almost one full month after the first water cube event started. So after all of this, the community finally accomplished the goal of flooding the End. But remember, they still have one last thing they wanted to do, and that's to make the largest map art on Purity. And that's where I'm heading right now. Alright lads, so I'm still on the highway right now, and pretty much Wedgo was kind enough to invite me to the map art event, and I'm going to be helping them draw the art on top of the ocean, pretty much. But they actually started the event earlier than what they announced, so it really caught me off guard, so that's why I'm running late right now. And we've really got to get a move on here, because otherwise the map art event is just going to be done by the time we get there, so, you know, really got to hurry up. Let's see the chords. Yeah, okay, this should do. Let's go into this portal right here. Yeah, so thankfully, because of Project Marco, we're actually we know exactly where most of the strongholds are, where all the portals are. So it makes my life like 10 times easier, just actually knowing the exact chords to the portal just to get there straight away. You know, and the Project Marco is a video in of itself. It was made by it was pioneered by Nerdy Birdie and some other guys, but you know, he's made his own videos on that, and you can go check those out. But yes, it's some really good content on Purity that you can watch as well. Okay, so it should be around here, I think. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, let's go down here. It's a long staircase down. Okay, so on the other side of this portal is Endlantis. I've actually never seen it in person up until this point, so this is crazy to me. This is like my first time actually seeing it. So yeah, let's go. Okay, here we are. Oh yeah, so this is the little obsidian platform that you kind of spawn on. And here, come check this out. Like under here, if you go down here, you actually see like a massive open space here. So the story with like all the obsidian, the platform and the platform underneath, pretty much is there was already an obsidian floor like roughly at the bottom of the end spawn. And Wedgo and the other boys, like, they noticed an air pocket underneath the spawn island when they were, like, removing it and stuff, like, in the initial phase. And afterwards, they had the idea of taking inspiration from the Nether Hub on Purity. That's currently where all of the PvPers kind of hang out and do their PvPing. And they just had a similar idea to do, like, the equivalent of the Nether Hub in the end, and I think they're calling it the End Hub, and I just think it's a very cool idea. I think it's like probably a change of scenery for PvPers and just people who want to like PvP and not necessarily always be in the same place all the time. So, you know, like, kudos to them, man. Like, it's a very creative idea. So this only covers like the 50 block radius, like, around the actual spawn point, but the rest of like the 2,000 blocks are like surrounded in water. It's just like this little bit that's underneath the water. You know, I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's head up here to the water and actually see the Kraken in person. So let's head up here, right? Okay. It's probably going to be a little bit difficult to see because of like the fact that water just fucks up like the whole the visuals, like unless you're up close, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, like, I mean, I guess we can sort of we get like a rough idea of how big it is from here. So it's pretty impressive, like, regardless, man. Like, even with the fact that we can't see it that well, like, you can just tell how fucking big it is. Look at this shit, man. Fucking hell. And also, what with the fact that it's underwater, it made out of obsidian just makes it like so much more difficult to grief. Oh, check this out. This is the jellyfish. It's I think it was made by Bella, Wedgo, and Billbob, I believe. I'll have to fact check though. Dude, this is awesome, man. Look at this shit. I've actually heard from the guys of the project that they're from now on they're encouraging anyone to build their own stuff in the end ocean. Obviously, what with the fact that the water is all there, it makes it so much more difficult to like remove, right? So you guys can just build whatever you want, and you're at less of a risk for your builds to actually get destroyed. So I think that's it's a win-win for everyone involved, in my opinion. All right, let's get to the top, and let's see the progress that they've made. What with the map art here. Let's fly around for a little bit, see how much progress they've made. Oh, hang on. Is that... Oh, that's Wedgo. Hey, hello. What the hell? The server crashed. The server crashed as I meet up with him. What the hell, man? That's like the first time. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. What the hell? That's crazy. I've never seen the server actually like crash in that way as I've like walked up to someone. I've seen it crash, but like not like that. That's weird. Alright, it's back up now. Right, let's go to a guy. Let's go. Hello. Hey. Oh, what's this? Is this Yeah. So we need this. Alright, so this is probably the right time to actually explain how this whole works. So you guys have probably seen from the actual video, because you're not idiots, that the way we're actually doing the map art is by icing over the ocean at the top with Frostwalker boots, right? And so the reason why the Frostwalker boots, because usually the ice on the Frostwalker boots, like, it disappears after you sort of walk on it, like after a few seconds it disappears. The reason why it doesn't in the end is because the end dimension actually has a light level of 0 by default when you don't have any light around it. So in actual fact, we can just make whatever pattern we want to with just by walking around in a certain way on top of the ocean. So it's actually worked out like really nicely to make this map art, and it's going to turn out really well. And it's actually like really easy to do. All we have to do is like download the schematic and sort of walk around in the pattern of the schematic, you know. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to load the schematic, and I'm just going to walk around and you know, do the map art. I'm doing my part, guys. I'm doing my part. All right, let's get to it. All right, let's find a spot where we can start. Okay, down here looks good. Let's yeah, let's fucking do it. Okay, so it's been a few hours since I was mapping out the map art with the Frostwalker boots, and I've actually been messaged by Wedgo, and I've been tasked with mapping out the art to see our progress so far, pretty much. So me and Billbob, we're gonna do 2 halves of the 2x2 version of the map art. So I'm gonna do the left side. I'm gonna do the top one, bottom one. And Billbob will do the other 2, and we're gonna reconvene, and we're gonna slot the little maps in the item frames together, and we'll actually see if the map art turned out the way it was supposed to. So you know, let's get to it, boys. Yeah, so pretty much, you know, it's pretty straightforward here. I've made a little map. I've loaded it into the chunk that I needed to, or like into the quadrant I needed it to be in. Yeah, and because we're making like a 2x2 version of it, we have to make this map art like 3 times bigger, which means I have to put this the paper around the map 3 times to make it like as large as possible, because of like the actual amount of land that it actually covers. Alright, now we've got the correct map size. Let's fly around, man. Alright, look at this, man. Look. I've completed them. They are complete. I've asked Billbob to meet up around here, so he should be here momentarily. Oh, there he is. Here we go. Hello, mate. Okay. Alright, I think we should go down underneath the map art in like a little air bubble, so that we can actually put the map art together to see it in its full glory. So let's go do that right now, right? Here we go. Oh, look at that. Majestic. Truly majestic. I'm pretty sure that we're all good. I'm pretty sure it's complete now. So, yeah, dude. I have the first 2x2 version of this map art. How cool is that? How crazy is that, man? Wow. I'm gonna go and store this in one of my shulkers somewhere safe. And I'll probably convene with Wedgo later, so that we can he can see the map art in person, so that he can see what we need to change. But I'm pretty sure it's all good, to be honest. So good news, man. This is good. So from what I understand, like obviously this is the 2x2 version, but the 16x16 version is actually gonna be the biggest map art on Purity, which was like one of the goals that they did. So, you know, like if they actually managed to do that, that is like unreal, really. I just booted up the recording again because I just got given a book and quill from Billbob. I think he wants me to sign the book. So I'm pretty sure it's actually the first book I've ever had to sign. So I don't even know what to write. What the fuck do I write on this type of stuff? There you go. There you go, mate. You're welcome. You are most welcome, my friend. But yeah, I think my work here is done, and now I'm going to send you back over to Future Brock to wrap this up. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. In conclusion, the Endlantis project from start to finish was a tremendous feat of engineering and creativity that has successfully reached and even surpassed all of the objectives set by its creator, which doesn't often happen on Minecraft, let alone an anarchy server like Purity Vanilla. Some cool new events are already happening at End Hub as we speak. If you want to be part of the fun, then join us on Purity Vanilla and make your own mark on the server. Who knows, maybe you'll end up in one of my videos one day. But anyways, that's all I have for you today. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.